Photo etch details are a great thing. They allow us to recreate stuff that's too small to be reproduced in plastic, and they give parts like fenders or stowage boxes a realistic metal look, and make small dents and realistic battle damage an easy task. But what if there simply isn't a photo etch set for your model? Then you just simply have to make those shiny blink parts on your own. What's up guys, so today we'll be making our own fenders. Let's talk about the stuff you'll need. You'll obviously need some fenders to replace, doesn't matter what size or shape. Roll of copper sheet, use copper because it looks nice and it's soft and it's easy to bend. Steel ruler, pencil, hobby knife, you can use an old blade so you don't have to destroy a new one. Photo etch bending tool, flat pliers, piece of scrap styrene, aka ghetto cutting board, but actually it's better than regular modeling cutting boards, which are soft and will deform under the pressure of your blade, tweezers, sanding stick and sanding sponge, soldering iron, soldering fluid and cheap brush for application, and a piece of fire clay, aka your soldering board. I tried different boards ranging from steel, bathroom tiles to wood, and some didn't work at all, others worked but didn't survive very long. So obviously you have to start by grabbing the original plastic fender, and if it's part of the model and not a separate piece, don't remove it until you've made a new one. That means making new fenders is sometimes gonna be the first step when you're starting a new build. The original fenders will be your template, so you must measure them and then you'll be using them to check if you're doing things right. It's good to make a real size drawing so you can take your dimensions and proportions from that. Then you just need to make the same drawing on a piece of copper sheet. When making pairs, you have to keep in mind they're gonna be mirror images. So when you're making the second fender, you have to flip the drawing. Or if it's a simple part, bend it from the opposite side. But that's not the case here, so I won't talk about that. Yeah, and I made a small hiccup here, but who cares. Then you can proceed to cut the thing. The best way to cut metal is to make like 3 passes with a knife until you get a noticeable groove in the metal, and then you just break it off. Then you do the same thing, but without breaking anything anymore. These are gonna be your bending guides, just like you have on photo etch parts. You must make sure to not cut through the metal, except when you just have to, like on the rim of this fender. You'll see what I mean in a moment, and this is also when a regular cutting board will bend under the pressure and it will deform the brand new metal part. Now you toss that piece of metal into your bending tool and bend it into shape. Make sure to check the angles with the original kit fender. This is a pretty basic fender, so it doesn't involve too much bending, but the rim is now impossible to bend this way, because the already bent main part is blocking our way. So in that case, you'll have to use pliers. The grooves you made in the metal before make this process extremely easy and very precise. But wait a second, now they overlap. That's not supposed to happen, but I'm no engineer or architect and my technical drawing skills suck, and therefore it's time to resort to more primitive ways. Simply chop the thing from the opposite side until you remove the excess parts from each rim segment, and voila! It's not super accurate, but that will be fixed with soldering. Speaking of which, just brush some soldering fluid on the part and then just solder the gaps. It's actually that simple. However, when you're soldering 2 parts together, it gets more complicated and you have to align the parts and hold them with one hand while applying the fluid and soldering them with your other hand. If you're not some soldering genius, then the result will be quite messy, so we'll have to sand the excess away. Use sanding sticks to preserve the shape of the fender without rounding its edges. Thanks to soldering, the part is strong enough so it will survive any brute force you can throw at it, so don't be shy. When you're done and all excess solder is removed, you don't have to care about the other side because it's not gonna be visible and probably covered in mud. You take a sanding sponge and just lightly polish the surface to get a beautiful shiny finish that looks like some ancient jewelry. And even if the result of your work isn't excellent, it usually doesn't matter. You're gonna be building metal fenders only so you can damage them anyway, but that's a topic for another video. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned something new, and if you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. I will make a more comprehensive tutorial about making our own stuff from metal in the future, but for now this will have to do. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments and I will try to answer them as best as I can. Or actually, if you know how to do things better, let me know as well. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you mates in the next one.